I hope you're all out there having the best day possible, regardless of what your current situation may be. And of course, I appreciate you taking time out of that day to actually watch one of my videos. And in this one, I just wanted to take a moment to discuss the hidden winners in a silver price increase, especially in a situation where the actual demand on physical silver is greatly increased as well. And in these types of situations, the obvious answer to who is actually winning here would be to say the people who are stacking silver. They're seeing the value of their silver go up. That seems like a pretty obvious answer to give, and of course I would have to agree. As long as you've been acquiring low premium silver with a good idea of dollar cost averaging in mind, you could have a lot to gain in these times when silver is going up very rapidly in price. Times that seem, of course, very exciting to everyone who's stacking silver. But you know who else is going to get quite excited by this? Well, the companies that are selling it. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Well, if they're going to be able to sell silver for more per ounce, that's how they're making more money. But that's not really making much sense because if you're a silver distributor, silver prices increasing actually mean that you're going to have to pay more in order to get those products in. Where do they actually get to make more money then? Well, it all comes from the fact that silver's demand is greatly increasing as the general public actually becomes a bit excited about it for once. When silver starts to go up very quickly in price, and then media headlines come out and actually sensationalize it, and beyond that, you'll start to see graphs that actually have crazy breaks in them and make it look like that silver shot up like double in value when really it starts at like $20 and then goes to $22.50 and then $25 and then $27.50 on the side of the graph, but it makes it look like that silver going from $22 to $26 is a massive increase in price when really, of course, it's not that great of an increase in terms of what silver's price already started at. You get what I'm saying, right? All of the media hype starts to kind of mislead people a bit, the same way it does for the crypto scams, the same way it does for anything financial, because they're just trying to sell actual clicks onto their own articles, and they will sensationalize silver in times when it actually is profitable to do so, just like with any other investment. And then silver starts to get hyped up, and the silver companies all of a sudden are seeing products like the American Eagles have several times the demand that's normal for them. And I can't speak on what the actual demand increases are because obviously I don't run a silver company and I don't know any direct quotes where someone talks about the exact figures in terms of what demand was before and what it is after one of these big events, but it does reach points where they'll actually have to out of stock several products. And I made a video 6 months ago about a situation where JM Bullion was actually selling the promise of silver, as I called it.
Can you go? Do your suppliers have more silver?
No, the entire industry is frankly wiped out. So what we're selling now is predominantly future deliveries. So we can secure silver that will be produced and shipped to us in the coming weeks, and we can offer that for sale to our customers so they can lock in today's spot price and take delivery in the future.
So that clip really speaks for itself. When JM Bullion got extremely low on inventory a couple of months ago, rather than out of stocking the items to keep sales coming in, they actually started selling people what I'm calling the promise of silver. So at the very least, it's safe to say that demand is increasing enough during these times where it's a lot harder for big companies to actually meet that demand. And if you are a big silver company, would it really make sense to continue allowing all your products to go out of stock, or to actually increase your premiums by a few more dollars over spot than they were originally? Let's say Silver Eagles go from being $8 over spot to now being $11 over spot. Even if half of the people who are originally trying to buy your product specifically now move on to other websites, if your demand was 3 times what it was before the silver hype, well, then you're still going to have 1.5 times the demand that you did before then. And if you already had enough customers to move the products that you were, you can buy the same amount, see them go out of stock 1.5 times faster, and actually make $3 more over melt than what you originally could on those products just a month before, or whenever it was that silver was actually at its original price. And of course, I have nothing against the companies that actually do this. I mean, they're literally just following the basic law of supply and demand. If your industry experiences a huge increase in demand, as a supplier, from a business standpoint, it would make no sense not to capitalize on that demand in the first place. But I'm assuming you're watching this video from the perspective as the consumer. So I really wanted to lay this all out, especially if you're new to precious metals, to kind of point out the fact that every situation that has a few big winners, unfortunately, is going to have some losers as well. And the people who lose out here are the people that actually buy into the hype and buy silver at its highest price when its premiums are at their highest as well, and it's the hardest to get their hands on anything decent. because during those times, silver is actually at a point where it might not see that value again for months or even years down the line. I mean, if you look at the big silver explosions that have happened in recent history, if you bought even 70% of the way up that hike, you've never seen silver actually hit that value again, unless you look at the next time it exploded, in which if you bought during that time 70% up, you've never seen silver hit that price ever again since, not even for a single second. So you have to imagine that people who buy silver during the times where even if it goes up by $5 an ounce end up being like this guy right here, where they actually go on resenting precious metals, spreading that message to potentially hundreds of thousands of other people as well, all because of the fact that they bought it at the wrong time and they didn't realize that silver is nothing like Bitcoin. It's not an investment that's going to get you wealthy unless you are talking about amassing true wealth beyond fiat currency itself, but that's a whole different conversation entirely. With that all being said, though, I do hope you enjoyed the information in this video. If you found yourself enjoying it, actually subscribing to the channel, dropping a like on the video, and leaving a comment, even just commenting something random if you don't know what to say, all these things can actually help this video share to a few more people on the platform without you having to be the one to share it, in case you don't feel like going that far. But that is truly it for this one now. Peace.